Welcome back to Ready, Set, Sold. I am your host, Bryan Vogt. And I want to introduce, we have some special guests, and they were here last week, and they did such a great job, I wanted to have them come back again. And that is Hohe and Deb Rust of New American Funding. Hey, welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to be back.
Yeah. Have a good week?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Very busy. We're very, very happy.
That's good. That's good. Briefly, I've had kind of an interesting week. We've had a lot of things going on. One note I want to say is the market is still, especially in the Metro East, is still doing very, very, very well and is continuing that direction. So if you're looking to get your house on the market, if you're looking to put it on now, again, I'll go back. Get the book. My goodness, you don't have to use me. I don't care. Go to readysetsold.org, not .com, readysetsold.org, not .com. Get the book. It'll be mailed out to you. With that said, I have an interesting story. I'm on Facebook like most people are. I think Deb and Dave, I know you guys are we're friends on Facebook. And what happened, and this is pre-recorded just so you know, this is a Wednesday, happened to be Wednesday, and this is airing Saturday. But yesterday I had a bird, but I later found out it was a parrot. That kind of shows you what I know about birds and parrots. But what happened was it landed on my deck, and I looked at it, and I took a picture of it, and then I realized I had a tag on it, and so I shared it on Facebook. Now, little did I know, look, I'm neutral on birds. I don't dislike, I don't like, I think we talked about that earlier. You're kind of the same way. Maybe Dave's a little bit more partial to birds than you'd like to admit. Okay. And that's okay. That's all good. That's all good. But basically what happened was it went to, I would say, viral. We had like about 155 shares, and things just went, and people were private messaging me, and a person came over, and God bless her, but she came over and she tried to look for I have woods behind me, and so they was out looking for the bird. And I decided to call it Harry, no particular reason why, but Harry the parrot, just because everybody was, contacting me. Well, what happened was the bird left, but then it came back, and then it left again. But people, I'll say, guilted me into the fact. Last night I'm at Chinook buying birdseed for a bird that I little don't know. But anyway, I put birdseed and water in. The problem, which I didn't realize, that I haven't told people on Facebook yet, but I guess I'll eventually find out, is that I forgot I have a raccoon.
Oh, no.
And I put the food out. And next morning I'm thinking maybe I'll hear tweet from Harry, but the food's all gone. Looks like the water was drinking. So I don't think Harry the parrot was able to move. So having said that, I really appreciate people's interest and moving forward with that, but I'll also throw it out there, too, that I'm sure Harry is back at home, having a good life, telling his life adventures to maybe his other bird friends. So that's the story, at least, that I like to have. So I do like to thank people for their interest, and it's great that they shared it, and I appreciate that. So we left you with what's the solution, and I mentioned 1, 2, 3 as far as getting updates done. Briefly, what we talked about is that solution is not to do the updates. It just costs so much money. It takes so much, basically, spirit out of sellers. They just don't realize what they're going to be getting into. So what's the answer? Well, it breaks down to 1, 2, 3, and that is painting is number 1. And not in any particular order, but painting would be one of those. 2, it's flooring. Number 3, it's kitchens and bathrooms. And here's the good news. Think neutral. Think neutral, neutral, neutral. It is so important to understand that neutral sells. Buyers are trying to envision their house and how they would do it. And when you have vibrant colors, they could be beautiful colors, but they can't see themselves in there, and that's what buyers are trying to do. They're trying to get their vision, and it becomes such an emotional thing many times with buyers to be able to see that. So how does it work? Well, number 1, understanding painting. There are 4 walls to every room, so painting is huge. Okay, so neutral colors. Simply look at what you have. 3 to 7 years is a good Good barometer, if you haven't done those changes, it's time to do those. Get your house on the market. Make it neutral. So again, you have the four walls, so that's what people are going to be seeing more than anything than flooring and ceilings and everything else. There's only one of those. Secondly, the kitchen. Kitchen and bathrooms, and they go hand in hand. They're just as important. The important thing about that is most of the times they do not necessarily have to be a complete down to the studs. There's this theory that you have to do that. Rarely does that happen. There can be very price-effective ways of being able to do that. So yes, you may have the countertops and some flooring, maybe resurface the kitchen cabinets, change some handles. That can make a huge, huge difference, and it's not that costly. But remember, it's an investment. It's an investment in trying to get top dollar. Same thing with bathrooms. There's a reason why they talk gold is the new brass. And so when you hear there's a lot of brass in that home, that means the updates are definitely needed. The third thing is the flooring. Again, 3 to 7 years is a very, very good way of judging that, and it depends on how much wear and tear the flooring has. But knowing that, go ahead and get that changed out. Again, because you're looking to get top dollar and you're wanting to get a fast sale, and these three components will get that. Understand one thing: it doesn't work with not all three. The mention I talked about the $400,000 house. Okay, the $400,000 house had done the flooring, had done the painting, but they didn't do the kitchen and bathrooms. And that was their downfall. The same thing with all those other houses I talked about. They had other components. The one that had the carpeting and the painting, guess what? They had a good kitchen, and the bathrooms were good, but they didn't have those other components. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's getting the painting done. It's getting the flooring done. It's getting those kitchen up and bathrooms updated. That's how you're going to get top dollar. That becomes so, so important. And just knowing that. And here's the good news. Most sellers want to do these things. But unfortunately, sometimes an agent that they've got that's too inexperienced, or maybe doesn't have the confidence to give that information out, fearful it's going to cost some money. Well, we kind of heard what happens when, if you were listening to the first segment, what happens when you don't. Losing money, my goodness, that's how you take a bath. That's how you really, really get beat up with. So with that, those are the three things. I'm going to be talking more about my guests, because what if you have what they call an as-is house? Maybe you have a house that every seller is a little bit different, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have a situation where it's a parent that has passed, or maybe you've lived there for years, and look, you just don't want to go through anything. You just time to go. Nothing wrong with that. So every seller we found has a different approach, different needs, different wants. Your agent should be able to pick that up. But also your lender. And I think you're going to find some really interesting information from Dave and Deb from New American Funding. They've got some background that is unbelievable. My goodness, 40 years of experience combined is amazing, and that's exactly what you're looking for in a lender also. So with that said, look, don't forget, again, this information plus getting the military come and knock in, pricing your house right the first time, getting top dollar, this is all in the book. So go get the book, ReadySetSold.org, not .com, ReadySetSold.org, not .com. We will be back after these messages. This is Bryan Vogt.